Welcome back to the Cliff Ellis Show. We've talked a lot this season about all of the new faces on this Coastal Carolina men's basketball team, but one comes from right here in the state of South Carolina. Here's more on freshman guard Mason Grigg.
Mason didn't go too far from home to continue his basketball career at CCU. He is originally from Rock Hill, so he is familiar with the Grand Strand.
Well, right when I got here, I just loved everything, especially being right by the beach. I used to always vacation in Myrtle Beach, so I've always known this area. I've drove by here a few times, and I was thinking about coming here even if I didn't go for basketball. So it was just the best of both worlds.
A big thing he loves about CCU is the strong community it is.
Well, it's a little bit smaller of a school, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because everybody knows each other. I mean, it's kind of hard right now to get to know people just because of Corona and stuff, but overall, everybody's just there for you.
He says the team has taken him under their wing.
And they're all cool. From day one, they were cool with me. And if I need anything, I just ask, and they'll always be there for me.
Being a newcomer this season, that means he has a lot of role models on the team.
Oh, I mean, it's crazy, like, the game they play. I mean, I've never seen nothing like that in person. So it's crazy just to get to play with them. So I learned a lot from them, too.
Having so many guys to look up to, it will be a great way for him to develop his game.
I think I'm definitely a team player first, so I really share the ball. I think that'd be good for this team.
Reporting for the Cliff Ellis Show, I'm Danielle DeTomo.
And Coach, I know Mason is somebody who's played sparingly, but just how has he really come in and gotten adjusted to the college game?
Well, as you mentioned, he's a young man from South Carolina, Rock Hill, South Carolina. He's a guy that is a freshman. He's a walk-on. He's such a valuable asset to our team because he comes into practice every day, plays on the scout team. You know, he studies the opponent. He's always getting our team ready to play, and there's not been one day when he didn't bring 100%. And so you have to admire that. You want guys in your program, and we always try to have one or two walk-ons from the student body that can portray that and be a part of that. So we're very tickled with Mason and what he's been able to do. Mason had some small college scholarships coming out of high school, but he wanted Division I. He liked our program, and his family has a place away from home near Surfside Beach, and so it was a fit. And we are so proud to have Mason Griggs as part of our team, part of our program. He's one of those guys that brings a lot of heart and soul to the game.
And you mentioned his attitude. You know, have you ever been around a freshman like that in your career?
Well, with walk-ons, this is what we expect. I mean, you've got to do your job, and that is your job. Yeah. And you've got to be pretty much a perfect example as a walk-on, or you probably won't stay.
And how do you really see him, you know, being able to progress, you know, over his time here at Coastal?
Well, you never know. The one thing about it is that he's an athlete. He comes to play. He's learning the game. I've seen walk-ons. We had a guy by the name of Josh Peterson last year, walked on for 4 years. Last year, he was called on. He helped us win some basketball games. You never know when your name's going to be called.
And with so many more years to go, here's Chanticleer. Mason is certainly hoping to have a solid career here on the basketball court. Now, somebody who might be coming from my job in the TV industry is junior forward Isaac Hippolyte. Here's a preview of his interview with Coach Moss.
All right, we're here with Associate Coach Benny Moss. Coach, we got a couple questions we're going to ask you.
All right.
Starting off with, as you know, a lot of teams go by many slogans, quotes, and specific traditions. What is the driving force for the Chanticleers?
Well, we really don't have slogans or catchphrases, anything like that. With us, it's really more about a culture, you know, and it's a culture about getting better every single day. You know, don't think about yesterday. Yesterday's in the past. Learn from your mistakes, but get better with this day. You know, focus on one day at a time. We need to be better today than we were yesterday. Focus on the next game. Play one game at a time. Don't worry about where the record is. Worry about it creating a culture of success.
A lot of people have a knack for thinking the game. A lot of them just have God-given ability. So what influenced you to become a coach?
What influenced me to become a coach was, I guess, at a young age, I realized I kind of watched games from a different perspective. You know, I watched for schemes, techniques, things like that, not necessarily for entertainment. And then being around other coaches, they said that to me, said, you had the mind of a coach. And I wanted to play basketball forever, signed a pro contract, got hurt, had to come back and finish up grad school and became a coach because of that.
With the spread of COVID, games are either postponed or canceled. What are the coaches emphasizing to the players to ensure their safety?
Obviously, we talk about wearing your mask, being conscientious of others by wearing a mask, social and physical distance. We also talk about sacrifice. You're college students, but if you want to have a season, which all of you players wanted to have a season, we've got to make sacrifices. We can't go and hang out with other students. We can't go to large gatherings. There can't be after-hour activities. And like with our Christmas party, we didn't have families. We didn't do it at Coach's house. We had a small group with just our team and staff, people in our bubble, and those were things we had to do.
To wrap it up, you guys have a 2-game series against Troy University. What approach have you guys taken to come out successful?
Well, again, we focus one opponent at a time, one game at a time. And with Troy, it's about preparation, the same preparation we always do. It's about focusing on us. What do we do well? What do we need to work on? What do they do well? And where can we attack them? Like the book of Art of War by Sun Tzu, you always prepare for your opponent, but take care of yourself. And the ones who know themselves and their opponents best are the ones that usually win the battle.
Okay, and that's all we have here for today, Coach. We're sending it back to Gabe.
Well, Coach, I'm sure you got a kick out of that. Isaac, obviously one of our classroom champions. Just how cool was that to see right there?
Oh, that just fits. Isaac is a guy that has great personality. He keeps everything loose around the locker room, and he keeps our team together. And I can't say enough about him, and I can't say enough about Coach Moss. Coach Moss has been a steady part of our program for the last few years. He makes my job so much easier because he does. He's my associate head coach. He does the things that a head coach does, and he just makes my job easier. And we're very happy to have Isaac on our team and have Coach Moss as a part of our staff.
And anytime you have assets like that, it's a recipe for success. We're back with more of the Cliff Ellis Show right after this.
The Cliff Ellis Show is sponsored by Logan Steakhouse and United Bank.